My research was discovering the economic causes behind the West Virginia coal mine wars, 1912 to 1913 and 1920 to 1921. I found that non-union miners' low wages were not enough to negotiate with the company's stores while the coal company's costs increased and their mines' production decreased. The United Mine Workers' agitation prompted the strikes. However, pay and distribution concerning the company's stores was present before union involvement. Historians have discussed those two causes since the end of the first strike in 1913, but few historians have focused on the company's operating costs of defending their mines and workers and the impact the union had on mine production. For the numbers of production and wages, I mainly used Frederick Saurid's The Coal Trade in years before, during, and after the strike. The one exception was the second strike because the reports ended in 1920. Saurid's reports provided additional information such as the effect of a mild or a harsh winter on the coal industry. He also detailed the reasons behind each state's successes and problems. Another source I used to confirm the coal trade's numbers and obtain more localized numbers for Kanawha Coalfield in Mingo and Logan counties. It was the West Virginia Department of Mines reports. These reports detail companies' production and costs regarding workers and strikers. Although not as in-depth as Saurid's coal trade, it did include commentary and statistics concerning the strikes. The United States Statistical Abstract of different years also provided information on a national and state level. The reports gave me a third confirmation concerning production numbers, which was important because I found many sources had discrepancies. West Virginia's reports could have copied Saurid's information. However, having a third source made the wages, costs, and production numbers solid. The statistical abstract also provided an average of food costs to compare with the local independent and coal company stores. The company store prices were not concrete because the coal company's records are either taken with a grain of salt or are impossible to believe given the complaints and evidence of abuses. Also, the independent store owners did not save their records. Instead, I used United States Senate hearings named Conditions at Paint Creek for the 1912 to 1913 strike and West Virginia Coalfields 1920 to 1921. These provide pay and debt slips, anecdotal evidence of company store prices versus independent stores, and company operating costs. While the testimonies can be biased at times, within each facts can be garnered from the mundane questions. For instance, how many miles from town is an independent store? Lawrence Lynch's West Virginia coal strike was the first secondary source on Paint Creek and Cabin Creek's strike. Written in 1914, it exhibited the historical context of the time and did not carry the biases that later historians reveal. Economist William Boll conducted two studies concerning unions and productivity. One was about the coal industry in general. The other focused on post-strike southern West Virginia mines. I confirmed Boll's assessment of declining long-term productivity by using Paint Creek's production numbers from the West Virginia Department of Mines reports from 1911 to 1924. While individual years fluctuate, the overall production had a negative loss of about 1 million tons. The coal companies not only had to contend with decreasing production, but they also incurred additional costs due to the strikes because they had to protect the mines and strike breakers from being assaulted. The miners' wages were low compared to unionized mines in and out of the state. Furthermore, the company's store's high prices diminished the miners' pay to where, at best, many broke even. Despite the UNW's problems, the miners did gain more pay and an end to the company's store abuses.